Good evening and welcome to this special episode of Blood on the Thames playing Nibiru. Tonight with me,
Mitch playing Fucknose.
Philip playing again. I have no idea. The character sheets are on the table. We have not looked at them yet.
Okay, so first of all, apologies. I know you were expecting the end of book 3 coming today, episode 30. Force majeure circumstances, we cannot air that today. That'll be next week. But today we're gonna play our second episode, well, a second showing of Nibiru. Nibiru is a game that we encountered when we went to Dragonmeet, and we loved the concept. The concept is actually quite cool. It revolves around memories and having to work your way through what you remember being good at or bad at. So very basically, the world, let's call it the setting of Nibiru, is this massive space station, all 1791 kilometers of radius. We're talking that is about 200 feet or 60 meters bigger in radius than the moon. Of course, it doesn't have the mass of the moon. It's just massive. Pardon the pun. I think it was like a very stupid wordplay by a non-native English speaker. But yes, in this place there are several sections. You have the core, and then the blazing halls, and there are, as long as you are removed from the center and not burning in the core, you're okay. But you cannot be too far removed, because then energy becomes an issue, and livelihood. There are many habitats on the outer rims of Nibiru, and those habitats are only known by the people who live in them. So an interesting thing is that sometimes people escape those habitats. They want to go away. They want to explore. They're curious. They're escaping from something. You never know. Something that's very peculiar is that whenever you leave your habitat, your memories are erased, and you end up being what is called a vagabond. So tonight, Mitch and Phil will be vagabonds. We'll start the story, and they will basically remember their name, how to talk, how to take care of themselves, how to walk, but they will have no recollection of who they are because of their memories. Now, in practice, outside the game, Phil and Mitch will have a chance to step outside for a second, and each one of them is going to, well, there are 2 character sheets. We'll get to them later. Hold on, Kimosabi. With 2 characters for them to choose from, to assign to themselves. Of course, these are super basic guidelines, so you can change the name, the gender, and if something in the flavor of the person does not appeal to you, you can change it. So for example, on our previous episode, Tom was the son of a cheesemaker, and he really liked cheese. And maybe Phil could have said, you know what, I'm gonna be the son of a baker, and I really like bread. Something. Those are the kinds of things you're gonna have in your mind, and when you step outside, you're gonna think about your habitat. What type of place was it? Last time I described 2 habitats. One, the characters hailed from, it was Brighttown, which was this idyllic rolling plains with the windmills and this rose-colored hue to the sky with twin beacons that would never allow it to be night. It was always bright. And then they went to another habitat where they had to meet Bertha. It was darker. It was oppressive. It had only this sort of like top of the hill, ray of light going to the skies and then disappearing, something about a flower, weird people all around. Those are two of many. So in this episode, you two choose which habitat do you come from. It can be the same, it can be different. You will briefly describe how that habitat is, and then the little flavor that is on the character sheet that you choose, or however you want to change it. And those become sort of anchor points for you, the players, to work your memories and try to follow through the game. So I'm gonna go over the mechanics really simply. Nibiru is a game that uses D4s, the four-sided dice. As Phil said, fun to have and roll, ugly and nasty to step on. They're the Legos of the role players world.
Especially metal ones. Never ever step on the metal ones because it hurts.
You will always roll 3 dice for your actions.
Okay.
Or not always. This is like the base for all your rolls. It's 3 dice. Okay. If anything gives you a penalty, it'll detract from that dice pool. So a -1 is 1 less die, a -2 is 2 less die. That's the minimum you will ever roll, like ever, is going to be 1 die. That's that at a bare minimum. But also you can have bonuses, a +1, +2, or up to +3, for a total of 6 dice. The only person who rolls 7 or more is this guy here.
If that happens, we're dead.
And yes, that happened with Bertha. Basically, there are 2 types of rolls. I was going over the previous episode we had in Nibiru, and there were not directly contested rolls because you were pretty much all the time escaping death. So it was very much one way, you against the world, saving yourselves. Basically, when you roll, a normal roll is like an action roll. I would say roll to traverse difficult ground. Roll to persuade people. So those are like action rolls. You will roll your 4-sided dice, your D4s, and every die that rolls a 4 is a success. Anything else doesn't count. So having a bonus is good because you have more chances to roll successes. If it's a contested roll, you against me, and let's say we're both rolling a normal pool of 3 dice, instead of counting successes, we just add them up. Very simple mechanic. So I roll my 3 D4s, you roll your 3 D4s, and if you add them together and you got a 9 and I got a 7, you win. End of story. So those are that's the only die mechanic in the game, which I love. Super simple. Now we have the memo system, the memories. Whenever I tell you to do an action roll, either active or passive, because sometimes they're passive, you can choose to automatically pass that roll or automatically fail it by triggering a memory pertaining that action. So last episode of Nibiru, the characters had to traverse difficult ground, and Chris, Peter's character, instead of rolling the dice and possibly falling, he decided to trigger a memory when he had been in the woods with his father, and he was taught how to traverse difficult ground. He had a good cat-like balance. Well, not cat-like, he made it a rank 1 memory. How do you buy or get points? There is this mechanic. You have 2 memory points each. That allows you to buy a rank 1 memory at any point. Now, if you want a rank 2 memory, which is 2 dice when you are doing that action, because once you have that memory, you get to write it down in your character sheet, and it's yours for the rest of forever. You just remembered it. Now it came back to you, and now every time you do that action, you will get that bonus. Or if you choose to say, actually, I was always rubbish. I kept stubbing my toe against the coffee table, and I walk into walls. You can put it as a penalty, and penalties give you memory points. So positive memories you buy, negative memories you get memory points from. 2 points for a rank 1, 3 points for a rank 2. That is the maximum of negative ones. You can only have a rank 2 negative one, but positives can go all the way to rank 3 for 5 memory points.
Nice.
And it's that trade-off. Okay?
Okay.
There is something super cool. That is the rule of all 4s or all 1s. For any roll with 3 or more dice, if you roll all 4s on that action, you get to add that action as a rank 1 memory because you're badass. Because you just triple crit win it. Okay? For free, forever. If you roll all 1s, you get to add that as a rank 1 negative memory. Because you fail so catastrophically that even it affected your psyche even. Like you're, oh no, like you're traumatized. I cannot do this anymore. But you get an influence point. And influence points is where it's at, chat.
Oh yes.
Pay attention. There are 2 ways in which you can use influence points. You can use them to re-roll any number of dice from a roll made by a player, you or your partner. Which is interesting. People are always, oh yeah, I'm gonna give you words of encouragement, I'm gonna help you. You have to describe how you use your influence, how you influence that action. But we also discovered that there was a betrayal in the background of our characters in the last episode. You have to check it out. It's on YouTube. And you can also use an influence point to re-roll those dice that were successes if you want to betray someone. It is Machiavellian. So that's the first thing. The second one is the rule of the deja vu. Basically, if you're faced with a situation in which you need a quick way out, sort of a Deus Ex Machina kind of thing, you can spend an influence point and either get a workaround or find something that wasn't there in the beginning. Basic examples: you are having a fight on a cliff, on the cliff's edge, and you're trying to maneuver, and your opponent pushes you off the cliff. And you can spend an influence point to say, hold a second. I chose this ground to fight because I saw some lines or some cables or something below. So in case I fell, I will have something to hold on to and to grab. And then that is there. That becomes part of the world. Because it's like a deja vu kind of moment. Or you try to sneak past a security guard to smuggle some friends outside of whatever prison or something, and you can spend an influence point not to roll, you just go past and say, no, sorry, you roll and you can spend an influence point to say, actually, after I pass, I just grabbed like a jug or a vase, and as I am behind the guard, I smash it on his head so I can knock him down. You add a little, I'm gonna win this little contest. You have 2 influence points each and 2 memory points each.
Okay.
2 influence, 2 memory.
And now it's time for me to talk to the chat. So take your character sheets, think of a habitat, think if you like what you have, and come back when the guys tell you. So hello chat, as our crazy adventurers leave the premises. This is gonna be a slightly different take on the game that we had last episode. We're gonna be doing somewhat of a horror show. Now, as with last episode, you have 3 choices on the type of horror show you want to make it. Basically, it's not that I wanted to make. It's not that I want to make it slightly horrifying, kind of horrifying, and horrifying. No. I want to know how mental or physical you want the horror to be. Do you want it to be a psychological horror thriller? Do you want it to be an absolute gore fest? Or do you want a very unhealthy mix of both? There's no pulling punches here. This is Nibiru. So, vote 1, 2, or 3 on the chat for the options that are being written. Psychological thriller, unhealthy mix for 2, and 3 for gore fest. I'll let you guys vote and decide. And there are a couple of things that you will also help us. Like I will leave a couple of questions. I think there are at least one with you. So when we go on the interval, they have to leave again, and I get your answers. And actually, I'm gonna make that one my first question right now. What is there is going to be a character. Sorry, I thought you were like, I blanked out. There is going to be one of the characters they're going to be interacting with that wants to protect them. What is their motivation? Also, the other question, there is one character that wants them dead. What is their motivation? So you get to choose who wants them alive and why, and who wants them dead and why. I will just describe the cast, and at any given moment, you will realize anyone can be a friend or a foe. Everybody can be an ally or an enemy. So by the time we have the interval, you will tell me who is the savior and who is the killer. And I want you for now to start thinking of one memory that they have. Each player is going to be allowed one memory that you choose. It can be a good memory or a bad memory. Of course, if you give them a good memory, they will have that bonus. If you give them a bad memory, they'll have an extra memory point because of, well, a couple of extra memory points because of how the rules work. So giving them bad memories actually could be good in the long run, but they start at a hindrance. But it's a single memory, and it has to be vague. A single memory of something. So do we have a consensus on whether we want it to be psychologically or physically disturbing?
I think the consensus is a mix of the two.
A mix of the two. 2 for 2, that one. That is quite good. The cast they're gonna be meeting tonight is a small group of scientists and refugees. Not many, and it's going to be in relative isolation. So, do we have candidates for memories?
Yeah, we've got one. We'll go with the first one we got, which is from Thames, which is Mitch.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Lock them out. Don't let them hear this.
Is that Mitch killed his father with a knife, giving him a marriage skill.
Yeah.
No, he killed his father with a knife.
Killed his father with a knife. It can be made into a positive or a negative one, meaning that he is either a good knife fighter or that is actually someone that is disturbed in some way. There is a mental health track on this game, so I can work with that. So I like that memory. Mitch's character killed his father with a knife. Chad will get to choose whether it's a positive or a negative one. And how about for Phil?
Nothing for Phil yet. But we do have the one that wants them dead. The one that wants them dead is just hungry, and it's hard to fight against instinct.
Oh, so the person who wants them dead is hungry,
Yeah.
and it's hard to fight against them.
Yeah.
I can work with that. I can definitely work with that.
I'm trying to choose like different people. They're saying negative memory for Mitch.
Negative memory, cool.
You know, if he tries to use a knife or something, it would freak him out.
Yes, exactly. So he will have a negative memory out of that.
So,
For like blades, whenever he tries to use a knife or a blade, it'll be a rank 1 memory, and he will have an extra 2 memory points because of that. That's how it works.
I'm just waiting. We've got one
For Phil,
I'm saying something nice and relaxing.
nice and relaxing. Well, nice. Yeah, he's a kind of nice and relaxing kind of guy.
So they're saying, I mean, that's kind of that which L things are saying is kind of, I don't know if that's a positive thing.
Say it. What is it?
They're going. So there's two. There's two options. There's either Phil left his sister in a well, or it's rainbows chirping and Jaffa cakes, cotton smelling rainbows.
I'm gonna
Jaffa cakes.
I'm gonna go with he left his sister in a well because of Jaffa cakes.
Okay.
Not because of Jaffa cakes, but it's a negative memory for him as well.
Is it negative or positive?
I think that would be a negative memory. Maybe his sister died in a well, and he's terrified of water. So when any action that implies swimming or things like that, if I am changing it, is because I am devilish, because there is water involved. So if you want a character who would freak out at the prospect of swimming, I am game, because it'll come into play severely so.
He left his sister down the well to take her Jaffa cakes.
So we're going for a negative.
I think so.
Okay. So the person that wants them dead is basically a cannibal. It's not going to be the main villain. It's just one of the antagonists that they have to deal with. Someone who probably loses their mind. I will discuss a little bit how this game affects your mind. Not you as you play it, your characters. Disclaimer, everything's happy and we have Jaffa cakes and we love each other. But the characters are in a very, let's call it, bad place, just to make it politically correct. So I am assuming that we have no candidates for the savior. You can wait until the interval at which point, depending on how it develops, you'll have new choices. But I like that sort of cannibal. Someone that's gonna lose their mind. Okay. I think it's safe to call the guys if they're ready. If they're ready. So I will never get tired of saying that one of the reasons I adore this system is that it encourages you to narrate and create a story. It is more, it's heavily based on telling a story more than it is on rolling the dice or having abilities or having mechanics. No, you just need to have normal people with weird memories, or weird people with normal memories, or however you want to combine it. Welcome back, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
How scared should we be?
I'm sure everything's fine.
On a scale of oh no to oh my god, I will say something like ew.
I will think it's a more holy crap, but yeah, we'll see.
So, have you thought of your habitats? Do you come from the same one? Do you come from different ones?
We come from the same habitat.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
We forgot to name it, but let's call it the Shine.
The Shine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what it is?
Good thing
is,
The Hobbit was over like a gazillion years ago. So no harming copywriting infringements there. Okay, cool.
So what it is basically there was it is a kind of city built around the area that all of like the hard drives and memory banks and things for the ship were.
Okay.
So it's kind of like this.
Well, one of the many areas of
yeah.
Because it's a huge space station, so could have been for anything.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like this huge like technological fortress kind of in the middle of it, and around it you've got this city which is kind of cyberpunky and seedy and like.
Yeah,
they salvaged all the tech.
Yeah, so quite narrow streets with everything that's kind of been crammed in there. So it's like you wouldn't be able to fit something like a car down the street. The car would be just too big to go down the area. We also thought that there'd be some sort of reminiscence from maybe some augmentation between some people. Just nothing like replacing an entire freaking arm or something like that. Just the occasional
basic stuff,
a little
enhancements.
Yeah.
So it's mostly enhancements instead of replacement or actual. Just slight things.
Yeah.
Okay. Sort of like prosthetics gone right.
Yeah.
Like if you need it, you can enhance it and things like that. Okay, cool. So keep that in mind whenever like you are creating a memory, because now you have like a base, a ground to build upon when you're creating it. Because if it's techie, you can go with that. How's the people of that habitat? Is it fairly populated? Is it scarcely populated? How do they treat each other? Are they factions? Are they more like guilds, or are they like sort of like lab type, or how do you?
So I imagine it'd be pretty densely populated.
Yeah, rather densely populated.
Sort of like a sprawling, high-tech metropolis. Confined within this sort of like compressing domes.
Yeah, and I think it's the sort of thing kind of where even though it's heavily populated, pretty much everyone knows where everyone goes. So everyone just looks after each other because they know that. Well, everyone knows where the hell I am. So there's no point me just go around because then I'm fucked.
Oh yeah, especially because if you have some of those enhancements, you're easily trackable. Yeah. So people sort of behave, but it's more like a simulated civility. You do it because you know you cannot get away with it. Okay, cool. It's important to let you know that the moment you leave the habitat, you forget everything about it, and those little implants or whatever, they no longer work, but they might help you again forge the psyche of your character. Okay. And what's left is for you to tell me about yourselves. What's your name? And something, that one liner that describes you.
Would the longer hair like to go first, or would the shorter hair?
Go on.
All right, the shorter hair's going to go first. Okay, so I'm going to be playing Billy. Billy, yes. About 28 years old. And the kind of physicality, certainly very toned, especially the legs are very toned. He's been a cyclist.
Oh, he's a cyclist.
Very cyclist. So I do have a rusty bike bell
That's something that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the object that I have.
Billy is a cyclist, so you're pretty much very well in shape,
Yeah.
but with very toned legs.
Yeah.
Okay? Not like disproportionate legs.
Nope.
It's just look
Toned.
at a cyclist.
Yeah.
Okay, and
So I'm playing Michael.
Michael.
He's sort of mid-20s, and he was a very talented musician.
Ooh, a musician.
But not instruments like we have instruments. It would be like weird kind of synthy stuff and percussion. I think.
Okay,
So it's quite like. I imagine he's quite lanky and quite got like long arms and stuff.
Yeah, electro-techno music and things like that. Okay, cool. So your memento was
A rusty bike.
a rusty bike bell. It had a rating. I think it was like 4. So you can 5. So you can have up to 5 memories.
Yep.
Before you need something else to recover your.
That's interesting.
Like, because you have a number of memories that you can have, positive and negative, and they are tied to some things. And the more of those things you start collecting, the more you can remember. Think about it as finding, if you already had that bike bell, and then you find your best friend's ring. You can trigger a couple of the memories you had with your friend.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just a starting point for you guys. It's not something necessarily crazy.
Okay.
What's yours?
So my memento is a purple and black scarf,
A purple and black scarf.
and that has a rating of 4.
A rating of 4. Okay, cool. You can incorporate how you got that scarf. Whatever it is, that scarf feels right, feels yours, feels familiar.
Yeah.
And the same with the rusty bell. It could have been from your bike when you were a kid, or somebody else's bike, or a gift. Doesn't matter. It calls to you. Okay? So, the game, I think the last thing to explain is the health track. Is the dual health track, which I love. It has 4 boxes going either clockwise or counterclockwise.
Should I show it?
Yes, please. Can you show it? And it
I
has.
don't know if they can.
I don't know
see
if
that.
there is the.
Just
Oh, a bit closer.
It looks super tiny.
Focus.
it'll be out of focus, but you can see it's kind of like a circle with 2 halves.
Yeah.
Okay, so counterclockwise it measures health. No, sorry, mental health, and clockwise measures physical health. Yes, thank you. And basically, you are either very healthy and sane, or very dead and or insane. So things that hurt you physically, you register them on the physical track. Things that traumatize you, things that hurt you, your feelings, your state of mind, they go on your mental track. When your physical track is filled, you're dead. When your mental track is filled, you're effectively insane, lost. Because of the process of losing memories and gaining them, you are lost beyond any point of return. Okay? Any questions?
No?
Just a statement. Be kind, Chat.
Okay.
They won't.
That's not a question.
No.
And they won't.
Oh, I know.
Chat is lovely. They have been lovely. Okay, let's start.
As always.
We're dead.
It's dark. It's cold. And it's weird. You feel something pressing the back of your head, the small hollow at the base of your skull. You're trying to move, but every movement, your body's aching. Your muscles are tight and tense. Your bones crack slightly when they rub against each other. and then you go back to sleep. You've been in and out this sort of stasis for you don't know how long. Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
Michael starts having flashbacks. Awful, awful flashbacks of him and his hands drenched in blood. And out of the redness that is the end of your arm, you see a small glint, you glimpse of a small shine that escapes between, underneath the blood. It is a blade. You're holding a knife, and you just had stabbed to death the man in front of you. A man who you know was your father. Add, as a free memory, you have a mild version of PTSD regarding knives, swords, and things like that.
Okay.
So you have a rank 1 negative memory whenever using a knife or something related.
Okay. So what should I write down for the effect of that? Like -1.
-1 when
interacting with blades.
Using or wielding blades, okay. Effectively. Phil. Billy is also going into this state, and of all the memories that rush past you and you are unable to hold on to any of them, there's the memory of a laughter, a girl's laughter, a small girl's laughter, and then a scream, a yelp, and then a splash. You run towards one of the water outlets, sort of like an old well that had been repurposed, and your little sister is there, and you are incapable of helping her. You scream and you yell and you ask people to help you with this, but sadly she drowns. Add a negative memory. You are at a -1 die whenever you have to swim and interact with water. For some reason, the chat thinks that you should get away from water because they keep adding this.
They're dead chat. Both spectaculars and here. Dead set on
spectaculars in here all the time. They're saying you should not get. I am thinking, like you must be like a compulsive showerer, and someone's trying to send you a hint, like get away from it. I don't know. Not my business. The chat though is generous, and for giving you those negative memories, you get the corresponding 2 memory points each. So you're starting the game, of course, with a negative memory,
but with 4.
and it's okay. It doesn't count against your limit. Let's call it a background freebie.
Thanks, chat.
So now you have 4 memory points.
Okay.
And either both of you roll a die. It's not gonna go well because you're gonna roll the same number.
No, I rolled a 1.
Okay, Mitch, Michael, you have this memory. You are watching your father. You have the blade in your hands and you're panting. And all of a sudden, you actually open your eyes and you are panting. You have a tube going down your throat. Oh no. And you're in a bed. of some sort. The place is not super well lit, but it's not dark. It's sort of a twilight state.
Okay.
What do? You're not tied to anything.
Okay, is this like a hospital bed? Or is this like...
Orient yourself.
Yeah.
So proceed to roll.
Ooh.
And I believe you guys have a die when...
Yep.
We do have +1 dice to orientation.
Yes.
Yes.
So you want to check your surroundings.
Because I refuse to do the movie thing of immediately pulling out everything that might be keeping me alive.
Thank you. Thank you. How
Okay.
many successes? How many fours?
No 4s.
No, it was not an all one, right?
No.
Cool.
1, 1, 2 3s, and 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you do not have the certainty of being in a hospital. If it were some sort of hospital, it would be like a street doctor's one. It doesn't look... It doesn't give you, those good vibes, or it doesn't smell like a hospital. It's not... You're kind of disoriented, but at least you are there. You try to calm yourself down and try to see what's going on. Within moments, a woman approaches. She's in her mid-40s, and you hear her as if you were on the other side of a glass door.
Mm-hmm.
So it's echoey. You still, your eardrums are buzzing. But after a couple of tries, you get to understand. It's okay. It's okay. I'm calling for help. It's okay. And she holds your hand.
Okay.
Billy. You are still screaming and yelling at the unmoving, face down floating body of your little sister at the end of the well. When all of a sudden, you feel like a small electric buzz, and that janks you back from your sleep. You are sort of hanging from a suit that has, it looks like a spelunking,
Yeah.
but cybertech spelunking, but very old and faded, with lots of harnesses and stuff. So you are literally hanging horizontally, face down, from all of these things, and you do feel having a mask and moving. But the mask doesn't cover your, it does cover your eyes, but it doesn't block your vision. It's like a mask, a proper mask, okay? So you can turn your head, you feel something piercing on the back of it. It's like all these like leather and cloth, It's not it's something weird. But you see yourself floating, and you're suspended. You can see it.
I'm trying to look around, trying to figure out where the hell I am, and as I'm hanging, how far up am I?
Not much.
Oh.
You are probably hanging about a meter and a half from the floor. You're not like in the middle of a void. No.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and look around, try and figure out where the hell I am
Orient yourself. You'll have a -1 die
to swim.
because of the super. So you have a bonus.
Bonus.
For your and a -1 because of you have limited mobility.
Yeah. I have 2 4s.
2 successes. Brilliant. You managed to look sideways and see another 2 people hanging like you, but they're still out. And looking, facing forwards, what it seems to be like a little, imagine like interrogation rooms in the police station, but instead of being a one-way glass, it's a normal, and a one-way mirror is a normal glass, and the people on the other side, they look like this. it looks like a scientific facility or something, and the people inside are looking at something in a monitor, looking at you, looking at the monitor, looking at you, and discussing about themselves, until at one point one of the younger guys just throws stuff and just runs to where you are and starts like frantically yanking on the things, like, oh, he's awake, he's awake.
Where am I? What are you doing to me?
It's okay. Let me help you with this.
Where am I? What are you doing to me?
Okay. Nothing. We rescued you and some others.
From where?
Just calm down. Just calm down. Okay, everything's okay. And then a nurse comes. They put something in one of the lines, and you feel something cold entering in your arm. Is it inside? Do you have like? Oh, you have an. Do you have an IV? You have not noticed until now. But you're relaxing. Your arm, your shoulder are going a little bit numb as this cold liquid goes up you, but you start slightly relaxing. You're not knocked down, you're not groggy, you're just calmer. We found a group of vagabonds. We're a research facility. A moving research facility. It's okay. It'll become clear once you join us. We've had people waking up over the past few days.
Where did you find us? What?
It's okay. It's okay. And then they bring a stretcher. They put it under you. They hit some buttons. They lay down on the thing. They disconnect you, and they take care of you. Michael, a group of physicians show up, and some of them are reading signs on charts and everything. Turn the lights right up, and it looks more like a lab than a hospital. And they tell you, this might hurt, don't move. And they start the process of extraction. But they do it in a way that, even though it's painful, you don't get to register anything on your track. Okay. You're not sure if this is the correct medical procedure. All you know is that now you can very hoarsely. I mean, it hurts. Drinking water hurts. But you're getting better. This sort of temporary numbness and dizziness stays with you for a few hours, but you're taken by orderlies into places where you can shower, and you're scrubbed clean. You're taken to a place where you stand in this, like, so you just open a door, go inside, and there's like a grid underneath, like a griddle, like this metal thingies. They close the door behind you, and they tell you just raise your arms, and then they shower. Just close your eyes, don't swallow it. And they shower you like sprinklers from all directions. And you just leave it there for a second. Then you see these purple flashes of light, and then they allow you to step out, clean yourself, clean clothes. You're okay. You're taken to a small room where there's other 3 people from these like medical team, and it looks like a little classroom, like with people sitting in sort of like classroom desks, like what you would have in a little facility for small talks and seminars and things like that. And there is a collection of people, about a dozen, all ages, from a little, maybe 7-year-old girl, perhaps 8, to maybe a 60 or 70-year-old woman, and everything in between. Some of them look at you funny, others don't even look at you. The girl is playing with other kids. Like there is a couple of teenagers. There is a youngish guy, maybe 11, 12.
So, I'm just gonna try and try and keep an eye on it and try and figure out who knows what's going on and who doesn't really have a clue.
People look at you like, sit down. Others are better. Let's call it like have a better disposition. It's like, I think we all agree we are all vagabonds. Are you vagabonds as well?
Yeah.
If you do not remember who you are other than your name,
Yeah.
you would assume
Oh,
you
yeah.
are one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a vagabond. Okay.
Okay, everybody, please sit down. We're gonna start.
I sit down.
Everybody's taking out. It takes a seat,
Mm.
and a sort of. He looks kind of hesitant. Is a slim guy, probably mixed Asian descent. Very clean, very professional looking. You know. Okay, we will start with the facts. You are the largest group of vagabonds ever found together on record for this facility. There has never been a sighting of vagabonds greater than half a dozen. You, together with those who have not woken yet, make up 49. The few who have...
What is this facility?
Questions will be had at the end. And he turns, and they have charts on a visual display. Pretty much a touch pad, but it's crystalline. It's just transparent piece of glass that comes to life with images. The location you were found is an area of toxic fumes and wastes. It would seem as you were either on a pilgrimage or you were being transported as a group. We're trying to decide which one is the cause. We're also trying to figure out if this very large collection of individuals became vagabond by choice altogether, or have they met, or did they meet after. Regardless, we will keep you healthy and fine until we go back to Irkeria, a habitat that will welcome you should you choose to stay there. Any questions? And he turns to you, like to look at you, like.
All I just want to see is I wanted to try and count how many people are in the room.
Right now, with you two.
Yep.
13. Oh, and the 3 scientists.
Yeah, you said that this was the largest group of vagabonds that this facility has found. What is this facility?
This is turns and one of his assistants, the guy just nods. So you are one of the recently awoken. My apologies. This is a research facility that is also a moving habitat. It is much larger than these quarters, and it moves through the great hallways and bulwarks of the station. I assume you have no knowledge of what I'm telling you. Consider it a moving research and aid station. Any other questions?
Why?
Why what?
Why do you research and aid?
Aid because it's in our nature to help. Research because it is in our nature to be curious. I know it sounds cryptic, but I believe you would do well on watching some of the information we have in store, so you can start understanding the situation in which you're in. Then we can have a chat. But I assume you're all hungry, aren't you? So if there are no further questions, and the little girl goes like, "When can I see mommy?" When she wakes up. You said that yesterday. And she hasn't woken up.
Where are the people that haven't woken up?
Excuse me?
Where are the people that haven't woken up?
Depending on the severity of their wounds or their condition, they were taken to different treatments. Some of them had to be detoxed, their blood cleansed and cleaned. Others needed their airways cleared of all pollution and toxic fumes, or their lung tissue genetically recultured and reimplanted into them. Other had severe neural damage for the neurotoxin agents in the air. So we have them all across our research and recovery areas. Do you remember anyone? Are you looking for someone in particular?
I would like to at least look at them, and maybe their face might trigger some memory. I don't know.
In the visual package we have images of all the group. You are newly awakened, but you must see them. You will be assigned an area for you to sleep, and you're more than welcome to mingle with the rest of the group.
And I'm guessing we can mention that this the screen that's been on is able to be manipulated.
Yes.
I'm just going to go over to the screen and start to going through the information and just.
Well then, whomever is hungry, please follow them. Afternoon. And he just moves away, goes through a door, grabs a couple of folders, and goes in his merry way. Other people just pretty much make a conga line all the way to the mess hall. It's getting hungrier. What are you trying to do with this
I'm
display?
I'm just trying to find out as much information as I can find out as much.
Roll 3 dice. Roll whenever researching.
Yeah. 1-4.
One success. So basic information beyond the one he gave, a moving research and aid station. But your group, the number was 49. It gives some coordinates. You have no real idea of what they mean, so you try to see them in the map. But it does say a date, and according to the date of today, your group was found 24 days ago. And it has the basic locations of the other people and a list of the refugees rescued.
Going through all of that.
Going through it. There is one face you recognize. His, because he's probably not going to the mess hall. He's still sitting there watching you go through it, and then you go and you continue.
Yeah.
Nobody else stays. Perhaps because they have been awake a couple more days. Perhaps because they don't like you, or perhaps because they don't care.
And if I see Mo, I'm gonna just try and read what information they have. Somewhere
On you?
Yeah.
You had spinal damage. It's okay. You don't need to. Well, you had it. They fixed it. And the system you were hanging from creates the right amount of tension and traction while delivering the wires that would have the micro discharges, microelectric discharges to reinvigorate the nerves in your back and all of that. So you have been in a sort of suit that has been sort of keeping you fit as you were there doing nothing, as your spine was being fixed. This is advanced tech. You try to look for it, and you do feel a little bit of a ridge, like where the flesh has knotted itself in a little strange way across, with some points on the back, probably from some emergency procedure they had to do to install everything and then go in it. Or just probably that's the way the procedure works. You would have no clue, but you do feel that you had something there. But it feels like an old wound turned into a scar. Your tissue has been repaired. And your record, it says you were found with, spinal, broken spine and damage and spinal cord and all of that. And describe the basis of the procedure that you were put, and then you can see like an animation of you, like 360, you can rotate it when you were put there into traction. All the time you were lights out the whole time.
And I'll scroll back up to him, because only real face I recognize him, and just have a look.
He had extensive damage to all of his breathing system. One of his lungs had collapsed, and the other was severely charred because of toxin and hot fumes. He probably breathed in a lot of smoke, hot smoke, which caused suffocation and exposure to other chemical agents. So he had to have a full reconstruction of his breathing system. Again, genetically.
I go back and.
Are you going to start looking at random files?
I'll go through a couple, and
probably at some point I just go through the mess hall.
just be oh.
Yeah. You find that out of the 49, only 22 are alive.
Only 22 are alive.
But there are files for all 49. And some of them are deceased, and they say the cause of death. Head blunt trauma. Like severe head trauma to the head, or lacerations, bled out to death, chemical burns. Because you were in what looked to be a space car crash gone wrong into a toxic wasteland. Nightmare scenario.
Just after a while, then I'll just kind of just walk the vessel. Probably not looking all that well. Just trying to process. Okay.
They do have Jaffa cakes in the mess hall. I mean, I said this is high tech, so high tech. And after a couple of days, you start acclimatizing. You start talking to people. So out of the 22 that are alive, only 3 remain unconscious after a few days. You notice that, well, after talking to people, you realize that the first person to be allowed to wake up from heavy, anesthesia or anesthetics and things to keep you down, probably woke up maybe 4 or 5 days before you guys. Some people are adapting a lot better than others, and I do mean a lot better.
As that little girl's mum woken up, yeah.
I'll probably have kind of gone through a list and find out what has actually happened to her mother.
The mother of the girl, the name of the mother is Nuria, and Nuria had blunt force trauma to the head.
Okay.
So she's being treated with an experimental genome therapy that will allow her not only to regrow neural tissue, but also to help her rewire it. But she will need some of those sort of chips and implants to be added to it, and there might be the risk that the person who wakes up is no longer her. There are many things.
But she is alive.
She's still alive after a fashion. I mean, she's not on. The only reason she's alive is because she's an assisted. How do you call it? Support.
Yeah.
She's an assisted support.
Life support system.
But it has some sort of like a progress. Not a progress bar, but like a progress description of how she's responding to treatment. And it is actually as expected. So a slow recovery is expected. And after that, she will have to go to what you went through for about a month before she starts needing physiotherapy. Because it's not only the trauma to the head, but her right shoulder, arm. Well, she lost her arm from her forearm down. She crossed. So basically, she was crushed sideways, and it's so massive that they cannot repair the rest of their body. If they do that, they lose the chance of repairing what's left of her brains. So Nuria is not coming back anytime soon. You have to wait for the progress.
What's the girl called?
Nuria.
The daughter.
Annie.
Annie. Okay. I've probably been talking to Annie and making friends with her.
Little Annie.
Telling her about how weird this all is and how I don't like that guy that gave the presentation and like.
I don't like him either.
He didn't like when I asked questions, did he?
No, and I ask questions, but only because I want to learn.
Right? Because we don't remember very much.
No one remembers. But as my mom used to say, if you never remember... Oh, I forgot.
Well, I'm sure it was very clever.
Yeah. My mom is very smart. Wanna go see her? Wanna take me to her? They don't let me go in alone.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay. You go there and you quickly realize why she's not allowed to see her alone. She's not allowed to see her, period.
Okay.
The mom's a mess. Like, she is a patient recovering in ICU, the equivalent of intensive care. You are not allowed inside. You're allowed up to where she is, and you can, for a moment, they can make transparent the
Okay.
things,
Yeah,
the wall,
yeah,
the device
yeah.
in the wall. They can make it transparent for you to see. It's like the girl's not coming in. See for yourself. And it's wow. It's you would definitely would not like that girl to walk away from this room with that in her head.
Okay.
Like, I know she's impatient, but it'll take some more months until she is at least in a shape that she can be looked at. There are wires coming out of the head. The head is still half caved in. Her jaw is missing on one side, and she has substitute tissue that is being literally 3D printed into the bone and sinew. And it's slow, very slow. So when you go out, Annie is waiting.
I'll like crouch down so I'm on a level. And I'll say,
Is she okay? Can I see her now? I promise I'll be quiet. I will not wake her up.
they're still mending her.
But I can see her, right? Can I see her? I really want to see my mommy. I want to see my mommy.
I'll give her a hug.
She starts crying and sobbing and wailing, like she's ugly crying.
Yeah.
She is heartbroken. But you comfort her. You at least let her know that your mom is being taken care of, and she's doing very well. And she's actually in a section which is sort of a core system, a core system module. And then you move away, and whatever you are doing, it detaches and you travel. So this facility is kind of big, and it has moving parts. It's modular after a fashion, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've been sort of spending the few days there. That memory of the little sister popping in my head. I've been going. Kind of saying I couldn't save her, but maybe I can help these. Maybe I can do something to help these people.
So you're trying to help these people. Okay.
Yeah, just trying to help.
Oh, you're just trying to help the staff.
Trying to help the staff do whatever they can to.
Okay.
Do
It's not like there is a lot to do. You are probably the most desirable patient. You're eager, you're enthusiastic, you're not getting in the way, you're actually trying to help, but you still don't know what you're doing as well as they do. So eventually, when they see that you will not stop, because you wouldn't want to stop helping these people, they start giving you menial tasks. Do you know they're menial? But you know that those are the tasks they have absolute confidence that you can pull through. that they require no specialized knowledge, that are actually useful, like helping move the elderly when they need to do their physio, talking to them, helping them keep their mental health, because it's really hard. It's very surprising to see this, sort of 70-year-old lady, black lady, being so lively. But she has onsets of what could be Alzheimer's, on top of her being a vagabond.
That's rough.
And this is slowly but surely becoming more of a help center for the disparate than a research facility, and they want to keep doing their work. So you start being assigned more and more chores that make sure that you help take care of yourselves while they do their research and their investigation. They want to know what happened. They're very intrigued on how the whole process of making 49 vagabonds at once would work. You would have to have insane tech for that in the edges of your habitat. Or then you have the counterpart would be the social study. How come 49 vagabonds find each other and then get on a transport and then get blanked again because of the accident? Because it's not like we blanked them. And you have your packages, and your packages, the ones that I described with the visuals, they described what would Nibiru be. Is a massive space station, as I described. It's not circular exactly. It's more like American football egg.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Spinning. Okay. And it tells you that the closer you get to the center, the lower the gravity is, because even though there's a lot of mass, because the place is huge, it's not the fact that it's spinning prevents it from collapsing from the gravitational force it would cause upon itself, but also generates an outwards fake gravity effect for people to stand on surfaces. So that's why this station is careful of moving always in a plane, and moving on a plane and then 3D up or down on a plane, but trying not to rotate, because then you will switch everything around. So you would have to always find the counterplane behind you. It's a very clever piece of engineering, but it moves slowly. But nevertheless, it moves, and it's perhaps a square kilometer, like 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer, but it's modular. So this is basically 100 modules of 100 meters by 100 meters each. So it's like, this is a living colony. The modules stack on top of one another, move around. The one you're in is one of those. It's like the one you were sleeping in, and the mess also. And the whole research station is a collection that, together with other research stations, make this sort of 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer grid of 100 by 100 cubes. So this makes no sense to you?
Literally.
I probably would have gone up to like a member of staff at some point. Just started asking questions about it. So how do you control it? With all your little module things. How do you control it? Who does that?
Well, we have a centralized computer, and one of the modules is exclusively for interconnection with other modules and movement. If modules are separated, they can go independently and do research. But some modules are just houses. It's like literally like a block, 100 meters by 100 meters by 100 meters, and it's just like building things. So it never separates from other blocks that provide utilities, that provide water, that provide, you know.
But how does the computer know where you want to go?
Oh, paths are plotted and revisited on a. It's basically a minute basis. Every 60 seconds, it is refreshed. But all the information that is being processed right now by the computer for any movement of the little colony, he calls it the hive, of any movement of any piece of the hive. It sounds weird because it's not hexagonal or whatever, but
Yeah. I mean, I was more just thinking that no thing that is called the hive is ever good.
no, this is more like a beehive.
Yeah.
Like, as in, this is a community, and we are working bees. And apparently that's the reasoning.
Mhm.
The guy says everything that the computer is running and processing, and then, you know, validating, recalculating, recalibrating every 60 seconds. Those are the movements that are going to happen in 3 or 4 months' time. Everything that is happening now is movements that have been already programmed and that are being monitored and, you know, kept by one of the modules. One of the modules has just people making sure that everything that has been plotted moves according to plan.
So, how do you get out?
Well, we're going to a habitat. We can drop you off there. Unless you want to get out now. But then I would recommend, and it starts like moving, swiping, and then you see one final module, like this one. This is the closest. This is only 150 meters above the closest place you can land. So you could theoretically like throw yourself with a small parachute.
So you're telling me we can only leave when a path that has been made 4 months ago allows us to?
Again, you can leave right now. Problem is, I do not guarantee your survival outside right now. This is a space station. The area we're going right now has no life support. You can leave, but you will be sucked out of the port. And well, unless you happen to have a spacesuit or a zero-G suit, or
You already know I don't.
well, you can apply for a job. Like, people work here.
No thanks.
Okay. Can you tell my superior, like my supervisor, that I tried to draft you? I'm
No.
always trying to. Okay. Roll when you are all in the mess hall. Again, the 3 people that are not waking up, because some people woke up after you, but not many, 3 or 4. But the 3 last are just there. And one of them is Nuria, which you already know. The other one is a maybe 20 something, maybe early 20s, maybe girl, and an old man. And when I say old, is not 40-year-old pensioner old. I mean 78-year-old.
Yeah.
Love you, Titus.
So, those 3 people. So that person who is like the girl who's maybe 20 or something, 20 odd years old, Um, lost both her legs. They're being reconstructed, like the part that goes from her, what was left of her hip down, so she could even have a point of anchor for bionics. It's super critical. And the 78-year-old man, he's just not responding well to gene therapy because of his age, probably. He has very invasive, like toxins in his blood, so you have to treat his blood and his liver, but then he has like other conditions in his body that do not allow him to use specific treatments, because what you use on one part might mess up another. So it's a very complicated matter. And the guy, he's been kept alive. He sometimes moves and shows signs of coming back, but never gets there, never quite there. So one of the days you are all in the mess hall. Please roll to read the room.
Read the room. Wonderful.
Nope.
You're busy playing with Annie.
Yeah.
Okay, and you? One success. Okay. You see there is a... Oh.
Close the blinds. The light is on us.
Like it shines on you because you are such a lovely friend of Annie. Like,
Yeah.
"Oh." Were you being blinded, as I was a couple of days ago? Like the sun in your eye.
I thought it would just look a bit weird for
Okay.
for the chat. So
Once a tech goal, always a tech goal.
yeah.
At least we know Mitch is not a vampire, and if he is,
Yeah.
he's a daywalker.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so you sort of notice a group of people in a table that are acting slightly odd. Particular, there is one woman. She's not touching her food. She's just looking at everything and everyone in anger, but it's like just barely contained. And there is a man sitting next to her who's just staring blankly in front of him. But there's nobody. So it might be someone in the other table. But after a while, they move and they just stay in there. And every once in a while he comes back, eats whatever he can, grabs the food that the woman left and starts eating again. And there is a third guy in that table, and he's just very composed, eating, looking at them, smiling, then eating again.
So Annie, what do you remember?
I remember what my mom said. Well, I didn't remember it.
But you remember that she said something.
But yeah, because I told one of the nurses, and then the nurse told me.
See, I remember
Killing my father. I mean, in cold blood with a knife.
I remember being in some sort of weird kind of sleep. Do you remember that?
But I was a dream. I had a dream.
What was the dream?
My mommy, and she had a boyfriend, and she was happy because the boyfriend loved her and respected her, and was a nice boyfriend. And that's what I remember. That's what I told the nurse when I woke up. My mommy told me that people who do bad things are bad, but it's always because they remember what they did and they don't care. But people who are good do good things. And it's because they like it.
Your mum was very wise.
What is wise?
Mm,
Like super smart, right?
yeah.
Yeah, she's
I have this scarf.
very pretty.
Have you seen this scarf before?
This scarf. No, I haven't seen it.
Look at this scarf. I have this scarf. This is what I did. Did you have it? Do you have anything from before?
Well, yeah, it's in my bedroom. I never take it out.
Can I see it?
No.
Okay. Okay. It's fine. You can keep your secret. That's okay.
Let's go eat.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm gonna kind of move so I can see see whether the two people who, one looks angry, the guy looks comfortable, seem to be if that seems to be because of the guy that's looking quite smug.
No, the girl seems to be just angry in general, and the guy seems to be spacing out in general, and the other guy is just amused in particular with these two. That's it. It's a very odd table, but not an interaction you would immediately see unless you were looking for something, or in your case, sort of notice it.
I'm just gonna keep an eye.
Okay.
on her.
Cool. So you go to eat some of the food, some of the sweets. So you see Michael and the girl coming in. You're helping anyone who's in the way, and that's when it goes mental. The girl jumps on the dude and starts scratching his face and screaming, just yelling.
I'm gonna throw myself across the room and just try and break him apart.
Okay, cool. That sounds like you want to do. So you want to tackle her.
Yeah.
So okay, an action for say for brawling and tackling.
Yeah.
So remember, it's a contested roll. So you get to add your dice together. Whomever rolls most succeeds. And inflicts one level of physical damage on the other one, unless you want to pull the punch.
Yep.
And if I get, or you get twice as much as the loser, then it's 2. And if you get 3 times as much, it's 3 levels.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And that was the nice rolled.
7. 6. She's not pulling any punches. You go and tackle her. You do succeed at taking her off of this guy, but she immediately takes a bite of your arm, your bicep, a nasty one. You feel her teeth go in your into the flesh and tear it. What do? The typical grab Annie, close her eyes, and move away.
Probably more just like stand in front of her so she's behind me.
Yeah, okay. So she doesn't see what's going on.
So I do take physical damage of that?
Yes, 1.
No.
And she's now numbing on your right bicep.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get up because this shit hurts.
Again.
What is everybody else in the room doing?
Other people are people in the immediate vicinity is normal things happen. Sorry, it's the normal reaction you would expect. If someone in the table next to you starts screaming and jumping and whatever, the first reaction, if you are right next to it, is to move away.
Oh, yeah.
People further away actually are attracted.
Yeah.
So you have this sort of people go into this area, like a dense ring, and then you see people jumping in. So Phil will have some help next
Alright,
round.
that's all right.
Okay. This round he's on his own.
Kill, isn't she?
7.
7.
It's a tie. She tries to tear through it, but you manage to like sort of put your finger in her throat and push her away. So she kind of like gags and reflexively opens her mouth. You tear through, and when she goes to rake your face with those broken, bloody nails, you just sort of like shield yourself, and she just rakes through your clothes, which is you just sort of do nothing. And then now you have help. Someone jumps into the fight. You get to add 1 die for the help they're giving you. If you fail, everybody that's helping you also takes damage. Because she wildly starts doing clawing people's eyes out, gouging out.
12.
That's great because I got an 11. 4, 4, 3. This is disgusting. These dice, Phil.
You got.
Love him. So you managed to do it. You subdue her because you were pulling your punches.
Oh yeah.
Not before the guy who jumps to help you smashes her face, nose first into the moment you sort of try and subdue her, and she goes sideways to, like literally go at your eye. The guy just puts his hand on the back of his head and smashes her face into the ground, and literally like sits and puts his weight on her shoulder. Like the woman is out of control, and for such a small tiny frame, she's fierce and strong, and you don't know why. She just lost it.
What I assume there are like members of staff.
Yes.
What
and actually, you see for the first time 3 guys that are definitely security, and they look scary. They don't have the big armor or whatever. No, they come in slim, body-fitted suits that looked armored, with like little ceramo metal plates that are embedded into them, sort of that this smart sort of fibers, intelligent fibers that conduct with small things, and vibro weapons, energy weapons, and they just walking with precision, go in. One takes something, puts it on the side of her neck. She immediately drops. Grabbed her. She's taken out. They disappear.
No. Like as they're dragging her out, I mean, like, hey, like, what happened there? What is that?
Staff is like, what is? They are tending, like, people are tending to the other guy. He lost 1 eye. He's been raped. Like, his face been They are tending to his wound. Human knights are nasty, like the amount of things we have. So you're being immediately taken for antibiotics and all that.
No, I'm talking to the guys dragging the woman out.
Oh, we're taking her to containment.
Yeah, but what? Why did she do that?
We don't know. People lose their heads.
People don't bite other people's arms.
And then a door opens. The 2 guys carrying the woman go in, and the third guy just stands in front of the door and puts a hand on your chest. Yes, I know. But vagabonds tend to lose their minds. And he slowly moves behind. Just waves a hand in front of something, and the door still shut. So you're being treated at the thingy, and the guy who was smirking at some point shows up together with other people. Like, there is not much to do in this kind of facility, especially if you're a vagabond, because all your day is trying to remember, making new friends, and actually making new memories. So people are trying to become their own community, but there are so many different types of people here. I mean, there is like, 19 people awake. You have 19 different personalities. Of course, they're gonna go into small groups. They're gonna hang around doing stuff.
Yep.
So, the Smirky guy, I was like,
Yep.
you okay?
That hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. She said she was not hungry. I'm sorry. Try to remember these guy names. It's like, Noel? Noel, probably? Noel? It was like, she said she wasn't hungry. I mean, she didn't touch her food. Oh.
What?
She did not touch her food. But Sullivan ate it. Sullivan ate his food and her food.
So she turned on him.
Ow! You okay?
Yeah, that just sort me out. That just took a freaking chunk out of me. Bloody hell.
It's... sorry. I feel partially responsible. I have this sort of memory. It was more like a hazy dream before I woke up.
Do you remember?
No, but I had this dream in a habitat in which I was an aide in a facility helping people with mental stability problems. So I was trying to, I don't know, help them, because I saw those are the two people out of the group that have had it, the worst. Like, their minds are not where they should.
And I'm just gonna try and remember what I've looked through to remember what those two have gone through.
Oh no, it's not physical. It's mental. Like, mentally, they're not.
Yeah,
We have not had a psychiatrist or psychologist, or like, this is more like a biogenetics facility and a research facility. They are not doing psychology studies or.
It might just be a good idea to have them, a couple of psychologists, you said, on deck anyway, if they're doing research. If this facility is the size that it is.
That's probably the reason we're going to where we're going. We're going to a couple of habitats, and I think one of the habitats they're intending to go is to rendezvous with one of the modules that does psychiatry and psychic and psychiatric and mind studies.
And hopefully then they can help us remember what the hell happened, because
I think that's what they're trying to find out, but I don't think we're gonna find out anytime soon. And then there is an alert. A soft alert. It's not a blaring alarms or whatever. It's like just dong.
I'm guessing I know what it is, having been going through procedures, having read up on what procedures and that.
No, this is something you have not encountered. It's like there's a voice coming from through the tannoy, the PA thing.
We advise all the members of the Hive 9 to please refrain from any pneumatic activities. We will be entering pressurized areas. End of message.
And now you're no longer in the vacuum. But there was sort of an alarm, sort of an alert for pneumatic and pressurized work to stop while you changed pressured areas. It feels odd. for a while, you feel in your ears, the popping and the trying to adjust. And then you hear it again, the boom.
To all the citizens of Hive 9, we
Come on.
Apologies for that. There was a slight malfunction with the recorded message. It means pneumatic and pressurized work can resume. End of message.
Dude, it smells fishy, and you are nowhere near the water. So what do you guys want to do in the aftermath of the great Billy Chowdown?
I want to be trying to see if they've got anything that will speedily recover this.
Yes, they do, and within a day or two, it is back to normal, disinfected. No weird stuff.
I can take the damage off the track, or
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Had you died, it would have been a different story.
I think a 3-word response is relevant there. No shit, Sherlock.
So, anything you want to do, or do you want to wait until you reach habitat, or do you want to do something here in the meantime?
I'm gonna pester members of staff again.
You're gonna get what?
I'm just gonna pester members of staff again.
Okay.
So hey, that woman yesterday, the bitey one. Where did she go? Where do you take her? Where are those the guys in the suit?
Security, and she's in the brig. What? You're a friend of hers?
I think so. I remember. I don't know. I don't remember a lot. None of us do really. I thought you knew that.
Yes, that's why I asked. Maybe you became friends over the last few weeks.
No,
Or maybe
I've
more
just
than
made
friends?
friends with Annie.
That is raising a lot of suspicion.
Why?
Because she's 9. Just saying.
Her mother is in intense care. Nobody else was talking to her.
Leave her alone. The girl will talk to a wall. It's not like... I mean, if you want to play Big Brother, as long as it's not Daddy. Okay? No.
Oh god.
Any more questions? Any more sites you want to see? Like, we have been asked to give you some leeway with the answers, because the last thing we want is unrest. Is that what you wanted to hear?
I'm just trying to work out what's going on. Okay.
A group of 49 people got in a transport and crashed in a highly toxic area that we were investigating. So we were the first to respond, because literally we were around the area. That's how 27 people died, but 22 have been rescued alive and kept alive.
Look, this is a weird place, alright? And those security guys freak me out. That's why I was asking.
They freak me out.
Are they in every?
Every module has a couple, well, a few. And they are enhanced.
They seem very heavily armed to...
They don't need it. But they were 3 and you are 19.
But I just mean, you said that this is a facility to aid in research, and that seems like a weird amount of security for that.
Well, yeah, because we aid a lot of people who try to take advantage of our tech. Let me show you something. And he walks you to those areas where you have the platform, the walkways that transport you from one module to internally from one module to the other.
Yeah.
And you get to you get to recognize the thing. You're going to the ICU, in which Nuria is with Mortimer, which is the 78-year-old pensioner, the actual pensioner, Mortimer, and Patricia, who is the girl. And he makes you have a look at Patricia. You had not seen her until today. They show you what they recovered off her, what was left of her. And the fact that she has now a hip, like she lost her legs right up onto, like right to her hip, and she's being reconstructed biogenetically where she can, and then cybernetically where they can't. Don't you think a lot of people would like to get a hold of this technology?
I mean, yeah.
And what do you think they would do with it?
I don't know. Maybe make some weird facility where they do it on people.
Well, their first advances would be into creating, let's call it a security force that is enhanced as ours. And if you ever have to see one of them in action, you'll understand why we do not want to let that happen. We're a moving colony, and we keep it that way.
Why do you think that girl went crazy yesterday?
One too many times a vagabond. Every time vagabonds cross thresholds, their memories are wiped. You, whenever you left your habitat, got blanked. And whenever you leave this place into a new habitat, you will be blanked again. But at least you will be safe in another habitat.
But that doesn't happen to you because your habitat moves.
Exactly. But once you leave this habitat, you will forget everything about it, and that's how we like it. Unless you want to stay in this habitat. And then you have to make yourself useful.
No thanks.
I thought so. So, again, undoes the transparency for Patricia's viewing room. Let's go.
I've just been reading as much as I can to basically getting as much of research, do as much research as I can without communicating with people.
Dong!
To all the inhabitants of Hive 9, please listen carefully to the following instructions. There will be a merger of colonies 9, 10, 12, and 15 within the next 24 hours. I repeat, a merging of colonies 9, 10, 12, and 15 within the next 24 hours. Take the necessary precautions. End of message.
You have gone through the book with the log and the log and the procedures.
Yeah.
And it's basically any work that is happening on the edges of the module ceases of any nature, and people residing on the edges of the modules, they need to move in one section just to avoid, because there's going to be like strong magnetic fields when modules collide, like slide into each other and connect.
Do you get any information? Because we're in, I think we're in 9. From what I'm guessing there, do we have any sense of what's in 10, 12, and 15?
No, you can go and research.
Exactly what I'm trying to do.
Research.
I get 1 4.
You get 1 success. Okay, so 9 and 10 are both bioengineering. 12 is nanotech. And 15 is just a normal colony, like just habitat, like people. No, not huge research. Your thinking is probably where these other people live, like the people who work in the other colonies. So, from the looks of it, 9 seems to be a self-sustaining one, like a small one, compared to the other ones. So, during the time of the merger, do you want to do anything?
Just trying to.
So you want to do anything? Yeah, you look like a man who wants to do something and get into trouble. Are you taking Annie with you?
Yeah.
Okay, and what do you want to do?
I just want to be like, hey, that message thingy said to take necessary precautions.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of precautions?
You're not in the zone of Gauss fields, so it's okay. There's going to be electromagnetic fields near the edges.
Okay, but we're fine.
Well, yeah. The closer we're to the center, fine. Like, for example, where we are keeping the ICU, it's in the center, in the core.
Okay.
And the reason is because, well, 2 reasons. One is because it has an ejection shaft. So it goes into a self-contained ICU, out of it. And the other one is because it's in the center. It's the farthest removed from all of the fields. So none of the fields disrupt any of the equipment. So the people there are absolutely safe.
What do the people in the fields have to do?
Leave. Come further inside. That's the necessary precaution.
Alright, I was just asking.
Yes, as long as you stay in the vicinity, okay?
Alright.
Bing!
Message.
Is that the field doing that?
Read emotions.
Okay.
It's okay. It's like
Nah.
Nothing.
Garbage rolls, man.
the guy's like, I don't know what's going on. That PA system is going crazy.
I thought you were like super high tech.
Yes, we are. But you also
You can't
drive.
get a message,
Yeah, we
right?
also drive through toxic areas, vacuum, electromagnetic fields. Hawking radiation is the only thing we don't go near.
I didn't
'cause
know
it's like
computers
wall-
felt
like
toxic as well.
black holes. What?
Huh?
Huh?
All right. Anyway, thanks.
And Annie on the side goes like, he what you what you both what. Basic stuff. So what are you gonna be doing during the merge?
I'm just help it.
Now, do you go to any specific module? You want to go to a specific safe area or unsafe area?
I'm just gonna be again helping out where I can,
Okay.
keeping things away.
Yeah. No. It's pretty much fully healed. It's okay.
No, I'll just be keeping it in the safe area.
Okay. Cool.
That's it.
During the beginning of the merge, nothing is weird. There is a point in which you start feeling in the air that sort of ozone smell in the air, which is telling like over the last few hours, some areas like air oxygen has been ozonizing, and that's one of the reasons being there would be less than ideal. So you'll hear the systems kick the air filtration, like the air filtration systems kick into overdrive, and over the course of the merge, at least 5 or 6 times the PA system comes online. It's just nothing. So they're starting to resort to like visual displays, very basic visual stuff. For example, merger of colony 10 complete, merging of colony 12 pending, merging of colony 15 18%, something like that. And they are sort of cyclic. Every so often you have them, until one of them, that you're sitting there, Annie next to you, she's sort of sleeping, and you see, like, you know, when you're like in a plane watching the little drawing of a plane from where you are to where you're going, and you know you're flying from, I don't know, London, Barcelona, but you watch where the plane is at every point. It's very stupid. So you're doing the same. It's like, 21%, 22%. And then immediately it says, Michael, take Annie to a safe place.
Like the screen says that.
And then
Just like the one screen.
The screen, but it's in the area you are, in one of the many areas. So it's not like you're in a common area. No, you're just sitting there in probably one of the benches with a small-ish screen. Michael, get Annie somewhere safe. And then it goes, now! Like, bing! Bing! Bing!
Yeah, I go to the intensive care unit.
You start making your way.
I start making my way to the intensive care.
Okay.
Here we go.
I am going to need both of you.
And also if there are any other screens along the way that I can see.
Okay, you see this, it says that, you stand up, turn around, no other screen says it, you start running, and then an arrow. Ping, 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 and some pingings. As you run, and like you wake up Annie, and you start running, holding her hand. Since you're running to the ICU, it's showing you the ICU.
Okay, yeah, I do it.
Yeah.
Say hello to mental implant. Sorry. Hello? What are you doing? Helping. Oh, you're helping around, right?
I'm
okay, both of you are gonna make. Yes?
If there is any just like hard objects on the way, I'm just gonna pick one of those up.
A solid, sturdy. People in space don't smoke, so no ashtrays. So it'll probably it'll not be like heavy and solid, but it'll be metal, like a tray or something like that.
Cool.
Or you're looking for like a mug.
Tray sounds good to me.
A tray, okay. You start running around with a tray in a hand and a 9-year-old in the other.
Yeah.
Sounds like the beginning of every action movie that is not super successful. Okay. I am going to need a roll of both of you for staying, like keeping your balance. You will have one extra die because you're being alerted by these screens. It says stop, brace.
Okay.
You don't get that benefit.
Would I be able to trigger?
Oh, come on.
Yes, you get.
I haven't succeeded a single time yet.
This is because he's using my dice.
You want to trigger a
Yes.
memo. Okay.
Yes,
So you would automatically succeed
Yep.
at keeping your balance.
Yep. So I'm going to have a flashback to when previously in Habitat, cycling down, going quite fast to there, and a sudden blockage in the road, but just easily able to swerve around and just stay balanced on the bike.
Okay, so you remember doing training in simulated bikes, and then actually put it into place, and also doing balance training for your professional cycling career that eventually decanted into you being like very good balance wise. So okay, how many memory points are you spending for it?
I'll make it a +1, which is 2. Yes.
So you remember receiving balance training for your cyclist career, and the effect is you will have a +1 to keeping your balance. You, however, fail.
Yeah.
So you take 1 physical damage,
Alright.
and so does Annie.
No.
Well, unless you want to take 2 because you're shielding her.
Yeah.
Oh, the track. You do realize the track has 4. Only 4.
I'm gonna shield her.
You will shield her.
Yeah.
Okay. Bold. Stupid, but ballsy. So Annie takes no damage.
Good people do good things, Carlos.
Good people
Because they
do-
like it.
Okay.
He's also forgetting he's still using my dice, not his.
You're keeping your balance, but there is a massive impact from above. So it's not like the floor is shaking off of you. It's that it's taken off of you, and then you drop, and you're running with Annie, and you stop, say brace, and you're looking for something to brace. You have that sort of like 2 or 3 meter, like boom. You're like for a second you're weightless, and the only thing you can do is like pull Annie, like yank her as hard enough as you can. And because of the yanking motion, you start to pivot, and then you literally land nastily on your knee and your hip, on your left knee and hip, with Annie on top of you, and you twist right, and you can hear the crack at the back of your back, like on the lower back. Also on your hip, also on your knee.
It's fine, we're in like a super advanced medical
you
unit.
are half mauled. Like you are definitely hurt.
It's fine. I ask Annie if she's okay.
She is screaming and crying. Mommy, mommy, mommy. So what do you do?
Are there any members of staff around me?
Probably yes, because you were assisting them. Yeah.
What the what's that?
Emergency rooms, emergency shelters. We have to go to one of the shelters.
Show me. What?
And it's on the central area, like on the way to the
Go there.
to the critical systems, control room, ICU, like everything that is critical is actually placed close to the center.
Yeah, and I'm gonna help people on the way there.
Okay. They tell you that there are a couple of them, like sort of leveled. You arrive super fast. You were already on your way there. When they start like segregating people, you know in which one has the ICU of Annie's mom, of Nuria. So you take her in that direction. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going on this one. You go on that one, and you start like jumping in those. Roll again, but now you roll with a +1. You get to brace yourself, so you get a roll of +1.
You can go first this time.
I got 1.
One success. So it comes and you go down, but immediately you're prepared. Like mid-air is when your body kicks in. It's more you have athlete's reflexes for this.
Muscle
And then
memory,
you roll and you bruise a little bit, but it's not that you get hurt.
Oh.
And this is how Mitch dies.
I got 1 success!
Success! That's good. So Annie takes... Let's see if Annie takes anything.
No, Annie.
Annie got. This is what? Is it 4? No, this is 3. Annie got 1. So she basically holds on to you, and the whole brace yourselves and all of that.
He's attuned to my dice, damn it.
Okay.
I picked up different dice. That's what did it.
Yep.
And that, like in the second impact, is when the alarms do come to life. Okay.
Alert, alert. Critical breach, North Hole 8653. Hive 9, alert. Critical break, critical break, to crit, mess.
I'm getting people in.
Do I know which way is north?
Sorry?
Do I know which way is north? Or is it not?
It's a little irrelevant at this moment. So you get into one of the sort of shelter rooms, and you're stepping into one, and as you and one of the guys you help goes in, you hear the guy shut it down. We're full and integrate. So you just step in, you shut down the one you're on, and they just tell you sit down and like harness yourself. The same with you, like sit down and harness.
Are there still more people outside?
Sorry?
Are there still more people outside?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I do the best I can.
I
Strap myself down.
There's lots more room in here. Can't we let those people in?
There's no time. There's one pod closer to them, but there's no time for them to get here. There's a breach. We have to eject.
Fine.
Strapping down.
And it's not a big place. It has probably 5 people. Plus the 3 of you with Annie. And that's when you, for the 3rd time, filled the void of the, having no floor. But this time is because this area is just dropped, released, and you are weightless on the emergency, from the walls emergency seats with, the braces. The screams of Annie are crazy. She's just yelling as you are dropping, and then you feel something roar to life, trying to arrest some of that momentum going downwards until you hear
Message. I miss you.
and you feel how the whole survival pod hits the water as it sinks. And that's where we're taking the break.
Oh no! You! You!
They didn't know I had something planned with water. But then when
Right.
they said water, I was like, I actually have something with water.
Right, of course. And I believe that.
Do we have questions from the chat? We have some shout outs to do.
We did have we did have one which was during the break between chapters. Can they have a Pugmire game featuring Moses' puppy and Fagin the cat?
Yes, we were talking about
one
this
of
in chat.
Katya's spiders, I think someone said last episode. in the chat.
And then Gideon's Falcon. I think that's.
And Gideon's Falcon as a guest star, and I think Jim was like a stray dog.
Yeah.
Woof, woof, fucking woof.
Foggy or something.
Sorry,
I think someone may have said the ghost of Foggy or something.
the ghost of Foggy.
Ghost of Foggy.
Like the amount of times I've seen Fox on the way home and go, Foggy! Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
And then also Cedar asked earlier, how's everybody doing?
I'm
How's
alright.
everybody been?
I'm alright.
Thank you.
I've had a very busy day, but I'm alright.
Yeah. So first of all, huge and immense shout out to our giveaway. Come on, do we have the information for the giveaway? Blog. Have you checked our blog? Have you entered the giveaway? The giveaway is this fantastic box that is still that I completely forgot to take out. It's right there. It's a mimic, and the amazing Callum is looking for it, but I don't know if he's gonna find it. It's in the little storage room on the side. In a little box. It has to be
Little
found it.
storage room on the side!
It's in the little storage room on the side.
Hint, hint. Yeah.
So we can skip that. We can do another question from.
Hey, hey,
Oh,
hey!
There it goes. There we go. Show it. There is the mimic. It's an amazing box. It has some stickers from the inside,
Was it a dice
and
bag?
a dice bag.
Bag.
And those are the
little like
stickers.
stickery things. Oh, isn't this amazing? Oh, Carlos, how can I win it?
Oh, I am glad you asked, Mitch. How can you win this beautiful mimic box?
How can I win this beautiful mimic box?
Well, ow! It was eating Phil's hand. If you subscribe, if you become our Patreon, you automatically have one entry into our raffle. It's basically, it is a raffle. If you refer a friend and they become our patrons, they get their entry into the raffle for becoming a patron, and you get a second entry for referring a friend. Refer more friends and increase your chances of winning. Right back at you guys.
And it's worth saying that is becoming a patron at any level. So
Yes.
even if they just give us $1, that is
And,
you get an entry.
And honestly, I checked the Patreon as soon as I got home last week.
Oh my god.
And my god, you blow us away.
Yeah.
Honestly, I came to this thinking I'm gonna have some fun and just have an experience. It'll last 3-4
You're looking-
episodes. What the hell? Thank you
Yeah.
so much. It's honestly incredible
It was
what
very
you're doing.
overwhelming.
I was crying.
So overwhelming that, the amount of patrons we've got, they're going to be having a lot of fun voting on new stuff to influence Blood on the Thames.
Yes.
In our Discord server. Join our Discord. Come have fun.
Yeah.
Join our Patreon.
So
join
the
our
other
Discord.
shout
You
out.
can also subscribe.
Yeah.
I think it's that way. You can subscribe
Yeah.
via Twitch.
Or if you're on
that.
YouTube, then
Said he pointed at his fans. So
I believe our technicals are posting things on chat now.
I will.
hope
I
it
want to say a big thank you to everyone that has been supporting us, both on Twitch, on Twitter, on YouTube, Facebook, Patreon. whatever platform you're using.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all your love and your patience. Thanks for dedicating and giving us that little bit of your time, which is so valuable, to share this experience that we have and tell these stories together.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. We have a Patreon. Check it out. Join our Patreon. Enter the raffle. Win a Mimic Box. And now it's
And join our
time.
Discord.
Now it's time to kick them out for a brief moment while I ask something else of the chat.
Okay.
I'm gonna need something
They're not
stronger.
going to give you more negative memories, or positive for that matter, but no memories.
Right.
Okay.
We're gonna find out, aren't we?
Yeah. And this first half was let's get people. Let's get the mood rolling. And the door. Nice. And they're gone. So, do we have any questions from the chat, from things they want to do?
Let's give it a sec.
So, at the beginning, I asked someone who would want to do them harm and motivation. So, you have already met Zoe, the sort of Billy arm biting crazy girl, who, yes, she's around. She is in an area of the brig close to security. Security is right in the middle, because in the middle is where you have the sensitive systems. So I'm afraid they are locked on a box underwater with a cannibal, and that's not the villain yet. Any question, comments, things that you liked, that you hated? And I did ask you of someone who would want to do something good for them, or help them, or save them. So, have you thought of that?
We might have an answer to that. I'll just wait for someone to say yes whether we're going with this person.
Elaborate.
There's a demand for a musical number.
Oh yeah.
A demand for a musical number?
Yes.
That's not the savior, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, because Mitch's character is like a sort of a musician.
well, there's just a lot of Annie jokes.
Oh, yeah. I should have thought of a less musical name, but yeah,
Okay.
she's just a small, shy girl. She's not a little redhead orphan, super singer.
We might be going, but Annie is the one though who wants to do them something good, or something like that. I'm not seeing too many other suggestions. It's that or she's the villain, but I'm kind of like whether she's a person who wants to do them the great, an act of good.
Okay. I actually done. Finally, I want one collective memory for both of them. They are from the same habitat. So, yes, we have an individual memory of Mitch, one individual memory of Phil, well, or for Michael and Billy. What I want is a collective memory. They left the habitat together. Why? This is not going to give them an actual memory. This will give them a little inkling to their own past, to their own reason for becoming a vagabond. And I think then after that we can call the guys in and have a short thriller of an end of a session, which might or might not end up with the death of one or both of them, or Annie and both of them. Nibiru it explores all of those darker themes. So, what do we have?
Potentially.
First and second suggestions, let's read them and mash them.
The two things are that they're brothers and the food supply of the habitat failed,
Love it.
leading to famine of the people leaving. So I assume that's in.
I love it. I love it. Actually, and it's a good thing they're brothers, because now they're gonna have a reason to take care of each other, which is gonna make the next bit oh so much more horrible. Let them in. So again, thank you very much. You are truly devious and lovely. And also, you are gonna be given one deja vu. Just let Dylan know in advance, and he will wave. Basically, you get to change one thing. One.
Okay, I had the last of that. Should we, I know I shouldn't ask if we should be worried because I know we should terrified, don't we? Yeah, that's all the confirmation I needed.
Yeah,
I'm fine,
gonna.
mate. I've got my metal tray. Everything is going to be fine.
I am going to
Yeah.
need a special roll from you. Is one of the rolls in which you cannot apply anything from memories,
Okay.
good or bad.
Okay.
It's just a special roll to keep your cool.
Okay.
You'll get a minus one.
Yeah, I get minus one because freaking water.
Because you do like you hit it and you have the confirmation from the system, sealing all doors, immersion imminent, and it goes sideways, and it's
Nope.
you get you take one level of mental stress.
Oh yeah.
You are in a steel and a glass, steel and ceramic materials, like watery grave, effectively.
Was it influence points that I can use to succeed rolls? Is that a thing?
To re-roll as many dice.
Oh, okay, that's a reroll. Okay.
You can, or if you want to succeed at a roll, which are these kind of special rolls, you cannot.
Okay.
But if you want to succeed, you can say, I remember doing this, it was awesome, I succeed.
Okay.
Period. And then for future rolls, you get it.
All right. Hey.
You keep your cool.
Yeah, I got a success.
Oh, the leprechaun die as
So
well.
I keep
Hey.
my cool.
And Annie keeps her cool.
Yeah. That's my girl.
This guy is losing it. And it starts flare, like the screens start flaring, and then boom, darkness. That's when it kicks in. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm dead, and then
Backup systems engage.
things start slowly flaring back to life. Different
Okay,
life, emergency
okay.
lighting. You are you're at an angle, like sideways.
Yeah.
Not completely sideways, but at an angle.
Hey, look. Backup systems. Everything's gonna be fine.
Stabilizers engage.
See?
And you hear literal palms like psst, and pipes sending pressurized air to other systems to try and balance it out.
See, look, they're stabilizing us.
Recovering horizon.
Horizon's being recovered. Come on, what's your name? What's your name?
Billy.
Billy. Alright, nice to meet you. I'm Michael. And this is Annie. And everything's gonna be fine, isn't it, Annie?
She's in shock. Like mentally stable,
Okay.
but scared.
Alright. She's just so excited by the water that she doesn't want to talk. You okay?
I would just shut up! Shut up! We're gonna die! We're gonna die! Shut up!
Hey! You shut up, alright? That is not gonna help anything.
You have a room of people that are freaking out, and you realize really fast there's not many who are not freaking out. It's just a select few. Like 2 out of 8. Not great numbers.
No, look, is there like a staff member? What's that? There was a staff member on here.
Yes,
as well, wasn't
and this is the staff member.
And he's also freaking out.
Yes.
Okay. This.
Like the one person you needed, you wanted to lean on.
Look, everybody. Freaking out is not going to help us get out of this, but if we all keep our cool, we work together, we might be able to find a way out. Okay?
Increasing internal cabin pressure.
You start like slowly feeling a little ringing in your ear, but after a while, you start feeling like pressurizing.
Mm-hmm.
Optimal descent speed obtained.
Okay. Alright.
I miss you.
Do we all hear that?
Third ballast complete.
Okay, alright. What is this thing doing now?
What?
I'm asking the staff guy. What?
Okay, he's like,
Yeah, look, just this thing clearly has a procedure. What is it doing?
I don't know. This is, I don't know. This is ejection. We're
Okay.
outside. We're not in the hive.
Okay.
We're not in the hive anymore. We're not in the hive. This is not the hive. We have been ejected. This is not the hive.
Okay,
It's
that's fine. I hated that place anyway.
that place was safe.
Is there like? Is there anything that tell us what this is doing? Like
Yes,
like one of those information things that you guys love so much.
Okay. Central, Staff JA8 315. Status.
We have been dropped into a water pocket. It's a reservoir from olden days. The artificial gravity creates a sort of contained lake or ocean. We are sinking to the bottom.
Okay, what? Computer, what speed is optimal speed? You said we were at optimal speed descent. Okay, what?
Central, confirm. Answer question. Staff number J88. The guy's like,
Optimal descent speed is the speed at which the internal pressurizing system can keep up with the external pressure that wants to cave the facility.
We're not gonna get crushed, guys. It's okay. So,
okay, we're not getting crushed. Okay.
does this thing have like?
Central, duration of life support.
For the number of sentients in the vessel, 6 weeks.
We're fine.
Nice.
We're fine.
Excellent. Yeah. Closest port of distress.
Closest port of distress is Urgan.
Okay, there's a. Okay. So.
You're doing great.
How long will signal get to Urgan?
Urgan has been already signaled, expecting reply within 48 hours.
Okay, and then they'll come help us, right?
Well, they'll be receiving, and we will be hearing back from them in 2 days.
Yeah, but you're all about helping people, so they'll come help us,
I'm all
right?
about researching people.
Yeah, but your hive is all about helping people, right? That's what you
Yeah.
told me.
Yes, but Urban is not the hive.
Okay. What message are they receiving?
Central, what is the distress signal that has been sent?
Playback. There is a habitat in need of your assistance. Hive number 9 is under distress. This is a call for help. These are our coordinates.
And then you hear like a string of pings that you would assume is some sort of like binary or whatever that would be read into the coordinates, and it updates as you sync, because you're changing your movement on the y-axis.
Okay, so they're being sent directly to us, this part.
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
Okay, now, does this thing have, like, controls or, like, thrusters? No.
No, it has it says ballasts, so I think it was creating pressurized pockets in some areas. That's probably why the life support is 6 weeks and not 6 months, because it had to probably like balance it out.
Okay. And presumably we have food on here, right?
Yes, that's counted into the life support thing. Also, yeah, I think we're using a lot of the air in just pressurizing this and keeping it steady.
Okay. But there'll be help on the way, so it's fine.
Let's wait 2 days. Let's look at other pods, okay? Let's look at other pods.
Let's do that.
And this is just like a room section that it has been tied to others. And at some point you go to get Lucy, and she's still like in shock, like she's still not
Annie.
Sorry, Annie. A weird crossover with Blood of the Thames. You go to get Annie, and she's still not responding. She's in that sort of shock state in which you just open the thing, and she just like instinctively, like very docile, you just grab her, carry her with you, and she's just holding on to you, like looking lost, like a little out of it. And you start checking the scientist starts first checking through voice, and then through visuals with other pods. And these are sections. So the section you are in is supposed to be a shelter one, and it's supposed to fit at least 30 or 40 people. So it's sort of big. It has like on the sides, it literally the walls just dropped, and they revealed like a little hole in which you would go in and brace yourself with a little place to sit, and that's it, like a bracing pod. But it tells you that it has the security area, the 2 of the ICUs, the central control station, the central computer mainframe station. So basically the essential components that were in the center, plus the peripheral ones that were for either defense or databases or things like that. So that's why this area has enough air and food and supply, even after it lost all of that air and stuff, for at least 6 weeks, for the amount of people that might have survived. We don't know how many.
Barely am doing nothing of this voice. Just that memory.
So So everybody's like leaving like the bracing area now. Or, But he's just sitting there like.
Well, no, not leaving the bracing area.
Okay.
The guy from security, the guy who put a hand on your chest, goes, "We will stay in our areas until touchdown. Then we will assess structural integrity and damage. And then we will proceed to open compartments. We cannot risk losing pressure in any individual compartment, or it'll literally implode, crush under the pressure."
Okay.
So you're basically in a hyperbaric chamber that is slowly sinking. And it takes hours to sink. Hours. Please make a special check for your physical endurance.
Come on, Michael.
Does chat's minus to me count?
Sorry?
Will chat's minus to me count, or will that not count?
No. This is you. Yeah, one. It's
I
okay.
got a success.
Ah, the leprechaun die's a good one for you.
Yeah. Man, Michael's killing it now.
I got 1.
Very good. Neither of you suffer from the bends.
God, that's terrible stuff.
For those of you who are not familiar with it, scuba diving, deep diving, and all that. When you start going further down underwater, mixes that are used for oxygen, nitrogen in your tanks are different from the ones we commonly breathe. You have to change those mixes because they also get pressurized in the air bottles, and you're breathing them. If you surface or try to surface very fast, gases that were usually nitrogen, that was because of the high pressure that you are underwater, was literally dissolved into your blood. Normally, numbers would go up. Imagine it like the carbon dioxide on a soda. When it's closed, you cannot see the bubbles. They're just dissolved there. But the moment you open the bottle, they just become bubbles.
Oh yeah.
Because pressure dropped. Imagine that in your body, all with nitrogen. So the bends does that. There are many other things. So there are people suffering the physical consequences of it, or like there is at least 2 people suffering from the bends, and they have to be taken to a specialized chamber because there are 2 types of bends. One when you lose pressure too high, and one when you're pressure too fast. When you lose too much pressure or you gain too much pressure in an amount of time that your body cannot actually take it. I don't know the scientific technical terms. I am just speaking.
And this has been Science Lessons with Carlos.
No, it hasn't. I might be very wrong, so Chad, correct me if need be.
Tune in next week for
astrophysics.
Billy is still sadly doing.
But the excessive pressure, you also feel that it's like you feel your heart working faster, because with all of this pressure, it has to work harder, a lot harder, to pump the blood against all of this external pressure, and your body is exerting, like you have to pressurize your whole body, and it takes hours, and there's a timer, and you fall asleep and you wake up and you feel worse, you feel dizzy, and people get sick. And after 17 hours, sections start touching on the bottom. Central, What is our depth?
We currently stand at 1,856 meters.
It's fine.
For those of you who are metrically impaired, that is a little over a mile deep. A mile and an eighth.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's just a mile.
Fine. You could walk a mile easy.
Yeah, that way.
Imagine how easy it is to float a mile.
Okay, yeah. Let's make it float a mile. So it's been 17 hours. They start a very long and excruciating process of making sure that all structural integrity of all areas is secured, and all of that. And then they start doing something slightly bold. It's like, okay, we have our two connecting compartments and the shielding, external shielding. So what we're gonna do is release the shieldings in the middle, so there's a gap, and then check for pressurized, so for leaks or anything. And if there are none, then we know those gates are good to be open, because both, the seals are holding.
Okay, just do what you need to do, smart people.
Just so you know, there's going to be a little bit of shaking when it's our turn. They're going to be removing the shielding, so the area that is in the middle has to hold the pressure, which means there's going to be some suction, and we're going to be shaking just a little.
Yeah.
Okay. You want a live feed to the first people who are doing it, to see how much it moves, or do you?
Billy has no reaction to this.
The guy
at
just
all.
turns the screen to himself. There you go. Okay, it worked. Look, and they show it, and you see the gate open, and people moving. You see two people with with lab coats, in different rooms, that just run to each other and hug each other, and they go like. You see that they're stressed but happy to reunite.
Which place was that we just connected to?
It was one of the the area with the kitchens and all the food and all that.
Okay, great.
With one of the research areas.
Okay.
For the core, and then they're gonna leave for last the central command, because it's surrounded. So if every other thing on the surrounding has gone okay, then it can try and do it, but it can also transfer command to another module in case it just.
Okay.
So then the second one, it just incorporates the brig and the security area. The third one incorporates another section of the kitchen.
Yeah.
And that's when it happens. The seals give way. And when they go, shut the shielding, the shielding only shuts on one side, and the other side caves. And then what is visible from the screen, you see how internally that whole wall is bent, sucked in, and from the viewing holes you can just see a bubble escape, and all the lights go dark, and the rest of the complex shakes as this happens. So they prepare to eject. That's lost. There's not recoverable. Let's do it again. module 5, like number 5, number 6. Then it's your turn.
We're so dead. Can we influence this roll?
You can influence this roll. How many dice you want to re-roll? You can say all dice that were under whatever.
What kind of roll are you doing right now? Are you doing a successes roll or are you doing a total number roll?
I am doing a number of successes roll.
Okay. I think you should re-roll the ones that are not successes.
Okay. So out of my 4 dice that I rolled, re-roll all of those who were not successes.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Chat, do we allow that? Because typically the influence rule is for re-roll everything on other player. You know, for helping or hindering. And he's assisting an NPC. So
But you're kind of a player.
I am kind of not. But if the chat is lenient,
If they even find my terrified expression at the whole.
They're like,
What?
Yeah.
the chat allows it. So out of the 4 dice I rolled, I will re-roll 1, 2, 3, and 4 dice that were not successes.
That's
Yep.
Thanks, chat.
We were so dead.
Come on, roll.
And now 2 successes.
Yeah.
It is bumpy. You feel the and then it opens on your side, and on the other side it doesn't. And Annie turns and says to the guy, "Can you close it again?" Yes. Close it again. No, they're gonna open it. Close it, please. And the guy's about to shut it when the other one opens. And the doctor from the ICU, the one who usually talks to you, shows in. He's
The
like,
one that really likes me.
yeah, the one who loves you. Shows up and goes like, shows up like, is everybody okay? Sees Annie. I'm like, thank God. Your mom's here and she's okay. Can I see her now? No, you cannot. We have things to do. But you're here. Yeah.
See, Billy, everything is okay. The guy said so.
What's wrong with him?
It makes me laugh. And I made him choke. Hash.
I don't know. He might just be like that.
He's been helping around. He's a lot more talkative. Billy, you okay?
We're at the fucking water. I'm not okay.
You don't like water?
No. No.
How do you survive?
I think this is no time for jokes, Michael, but would it help you if we move away from the ring into a more central area?
It might. It's just.
Do you know how to swim? Since you don't, would you like us to provide you with a breathing system?
Yeah.
I mean, just in case.
Please.
Okay. Would you mind? And he gestures at your 4-point like thing, and you are holding to it, right?
Just very slowly start doing it. Is that whole like bunny your headlights terrified? Just
Okay. He helps you. You go in. You say, well, we need to wait for the next two so we can walk there. But I will be giving you a small... It's not going to be a tank, but it's a scuba. It's a self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. A super tech version. Okay? You can keep it with you, and that'll give you autonomy for about 6 to 8 hours. So if you find yourself outside in the water, use it to breathe normally and let yourself float very slowly to the top. Do not rush, or you'll kill yourself.
and there's a glaze over as the memory kicks in. Cute chat.
Yeah.
Oh, both sessions with the water thing, it's been a fuck you.
So everything is done around the things. Everything is connected. Finally, and you have a huddle, sort of, and a group of vagabonds, staff, vagabond, research staff, technical and admin staff, and security staff, numbering 31 people in total is in this sort of collective. Okay. 31 people, yes, because you lose one of those modules. Okay? A lot more people should have survived. Like this collection of things. Yours had room for 40. Do you know? We're talking about big numbers here. This group is meager, super small. It's one of the core groups.
Hey, scary security man.
Trevor.
Oh, Trevor. Nice to meet you.
How can I help you?
I was just wondering if there was anyone in the brig.
Yes. The person we put there.
Okay.
Is she your friend?
Yes.
Roll when convincing people or lying to people, like your persuasion. This is going to be like persuading. You want to make it a memory,
I'm really
right?
good at
Okay.
persuading people.
You're really good at
Or are
it.
you bunning them all?
Really good.
So this is a rank 1 memory.
This is a rank
What do you
1
remember?
memory. I remember talking my way into backstage places with bands a lot.
Before you became like a famous musician or a somewhat famous
like
musician.
before I was well known, but I just kind of told my way in, and then I acted like I was this really kind of like cool musician, and that's kind of how I got a few gigs here and there.
Okay, so you have like, you remember one particular gig in which you had to fake, that you were dating someone in the band and things like that, and getting someone to go with you and a girl to vouch for you and this person that you knew.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. Like it failed catastrophically. But then it's when your friends go, it's like, are you stupid? Why do you tell it this way? You never say this. You never say. And then they gave you the advice of when you want to lie and you want to tell a convincing lie, you keep it simple. You don't over-explain things and stuff. And you got it. You got used to it. So you know what people want to hear or how they want to hear it. So when you're persuading people to believe you, you get a +1. No, this roll. You succeed automatically because it's the one that is the one that triggers the memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Michael, is it?
Yeah.
Your lady friend. I'm sorry, she's still in detention. She has not eaten much. She's developed some rather unhealthy habits. We don't want to sedate her or do anything, but we're starting to fear she might hurt herself. I don't know if you would like to see her.
Can I?
Do you think it would help? Roll. Yeah, the last one was a freebie.
Yeah.
This one was a normal, and add it together. This is a contested roll
Okay.
to see if someone is bullshitting me.
That's not bad.
What was your roll?
10.
Yeah, you destroyed me.
Yeah.
How much you get?
Sorry?
How many did you get?
5. 2 to 1. Like I was telling Chad,
Oh,
was like one of the
Trevor.
most. But this is
When will you ever
Trevor
learn?
can fail all the time. So you go into the thingy, and they show you this brig, this cage, and you have that woman in a corner with all like pulling her hair slightly and then let it go and pull it in again and let it go and pull it in again and let it go. And the air smells filthy. Like she's been doing everything she needed inside that cell. She's not been using the things that are meant to be used. See, it is a very bad experience for you personally. It's like, wow, the depths, how low the human psyche can break.
Trevor, you said that vagabonds have a tendency to lose their minds.
Some people can take getting their memories raised, and some can't.
That means that you've seen something like this happen before?
I have seen what I've seen is of no consequence. Just
Well, it is if this is much worse.
not worse. Just as expected. Sadly, she's not the one. The only one that I've seen undergo this. And I know they have tried to help them. I have been hailed by the Dili. Have I?
I think I've got.
Oh.
Oh
think I've
no.
got a
Oh
deja
no.
Deja vu moment. Oh yes.
Oh, no.
Thank you, Chad.
I think this is a good moment for it.
It's a
I'm
brilliant
not
moment
there.
So
I'm just freaking out.
I think so. It was X, but in I think this case it would be Mitch. Remembers eating human corpses, and it was great.
for it. Oh. So he continues telling. The thing is, I have seen something similar. People have lost their mind because they get blanked too many times. So in this facility, they have even tried exploring their thoughts or what's left, trying to help them help them remember, and every single time what surfaces is the worst of the worst. We have tried to help her recover her memories. She ate 2 fingers out of one of my aides. And that's when it comes back to you. You stabbing your father to death was to cut him and serve them and eat them. And she does the same. She eats people. But she does it because her mind is gone. You did it because you were in complete control. What are you doing, Billy?
I'm just holding on to this breath thing. So sat down, really not doing anything.
So-
Just this is the worst place for Billy because cute chat.
Annie se sienta. I was gonna start narrating in Spanish, which is gonna get us nowhere. Annie sits down next to you, and she starts like rocking. Are you scared?
Yes.
Me too. But you shouldn't be scared. Everything will be alright.
I hope you're right.
No, everything will be alright for you. You help people, right?
I try.
You are a good person. Good people do good things because they like it. So good things will happen to you.
Thank you.
Other good people will do good things for you because they like it. Because they like you.
Thank you.
What do you do with this revelation, Michael? With this woman
Okay.
who has resurfaced something. Her cannibalistic impulses. Do you shy away from them? Do you try to suppress them? Was this the reason that you decided to become a vagabond? You have all these questions in your mind. What did you do? Where did you go? Why did you do it? So how do you react to this?
Trevor,
Yes.
how is the cell secured?
What do you mean?
Well, have they depressurized all of the...
Well, this area is just secure with normal gates and guards.
Yeah. Well, I just mean... if the power fails...
It has a mechanical lock on top of the electric one. If we have power, it will just unlock remotely. But without power, it stays locked, and there's a mechanism for unlocking, but the default is locked. But I'm sorry, Michael. I don't think we can do anything for her in her state. I think she's gone for good. I mean, we can always try and do our best, but that's not my area. I'm just here to keep people safe.
I'm more worried that she might get out. How many of the security made it down here? Or is it just you?
Me and my partner.
Message. I miss you now.
And everything goes dark. And you feel that loss of power you have been saying. And it comes with a mechanism being unlocked electronically before power goes out. You have immediately the safety, the neon or glow in the fluorescent lighting, emergency fluorescent lighting, barely illuminating exits and entrances, but there's no other light. And this guy just starts screaming, Protocol 5! Protocol 5! And starts running.
I run after him. I run with him.
So and there is the set of him running, you running after him, and someone running after you.
Oh God. Weapons, those weapons, where do you keep, where?
Run to get away.
I'm just screwing things up.
Mm-hmm.
Not for this game. Oh.
I got one. How many did you got?
Is this a contested?
No, this is successes.
Okay.
Contested is if I catch you.
You're gonna have to spend it.
Ooh. Wait a second. No, yes, you're trying to get away. It's contested. How much is it? Because I might lose it if it's contested.
5.
Oh no, mine is 7. So it's okay.
Okay. I still have the tray.
Tray? After 17 hours waiting and
I grabbed it specifically for this shit, alright?
Chad, do we allow the tray to be there the whole time?
Michael was quite clearly paranoid about this shit from the very start, alright?
I mean, it could have been that you went back and picked it when you were going to the brig. But it's not like you have not let go of the tray for the last, 24 hours or something?
It's my pillow.
You have a scarf. And I doubt that the tray is going to be allowed. Is the tray going to be allowed? You can always use an influence point to end up with weaponry.
Oh yeah, I know.
I think the chat is thinking better of it.
That's because the chat wants to see some good drama.
Actually, they said they wanted more of a mix between psychological thriller, horror, and gore.
I'm the one going psycho.
I'm already half dead.
Exactly.
They say only if you sing a bit of Hard Knock Life.
Go on, Mitch. Do you want me to start you off?
I can't say that I know this.
It's a hard knock life
For me, it's a hard knock life for you.
It's a hard knock life.
Alright, you have to give it to me.
I don't even know which song is that one.
If I remember rightly, it's from Oliver.
Oh, from Oliver.
Yeah, if I remember right.
Oliver Twist.
Or Ari. God, so many.
From Annie?
Ari.
I think from Annie, I just remember.
See,
Tomorrow.
I had to pretend
Tomorrow.
I had to pretend that I didn't know it so that I looked cool. But
You
really.
don't have a tray, but on your way out, you grab whatever. Okay? It's whatever. Roll 1d4. If it's a 1, it's a tray. And if it's a 3, it's a knife.
3.
2.
Yeah, it's whatever, like a pipe. Actually, it's a flashlight. A long one.
Okay.
No, not even that. The one that has like a grip on the top. So it's not super sturdy, but you can get one big whack out of it.
Yeah.
Before you destroy it.
Yeah, man.
So
That's all I need.
Okay. This woman jumps on you and goes for it. And I'm gonna go for it.
Okay. Do I get to defend on this?
Yes,
This
it's a
is
contested
contested.
roll.
Okay, I'm gonna use some memory points here
And you're gonna be like super awesome.
because Michael is really good at bludgeoning people.
Yeah, you're a killer. You don't like blades anymore. You have a trauma with that. But you're great at bludgeoning people. Okay, Michael. So I don't even bother rolling. You immediately smack her for 1 damage.
Feels so natural.
And now, let's go, baby.
All right.
Take your 4 dice.
$11.
9. You bludgeon her again, but with the second blow, you break the flashlight.
Okay.
You, at this moment, you are feeling... Okay, you're hearing the screaming. Protocol 5, or whatever the guy from security was saying. And then... you hear some, like... some grunting and stuff. And someone screaming... She's let loose! She's let loose! She escaped! And someone running... for an escape door that is actually an exit shaft, and they're gonna go and press the emergency exit.
I'm gonna go attack that person just because I do not
That
want this
person
place.
is kind of far away and you're sitting on the floor next to Annie.
Then I'm gonna try and pick up Annie and get us somewhere safe.
Okay, you do or say anything in the meantime? I mean, this could be potentially you trying to you jumping into another thing, and this one collapsing with everybody in it, or you at least saying evacuate or something.
And just evacuate! Get away from here!
Okay, cool. You start screaming and yelling, evacuate. Let's go, bye.
Okay, so I don't have my weapon. I don't have my weapon anymore, so it's just 3, right?
Just 3, yeah. Ooh.
6.
Wait.
No.
And she just goes at you, but in this one, she starts like sort of slightly pummeling you, but then she just climbs and she just like tries to tear you apart, like pulling you by your scarf, and of course punching you in the process repeatedly in the face. You get another one. You are battered and bruised.
Oh,
your hip hurts, your knee hurts, your face hurts, and you hear evacuate. What do you do?
Am I able to run at this point, or am I like...
Sorry?
I'm like
You are in the floor.
in combat,
yeah,
right?
you're in the floor and she's on top of you.
Okay.
And not in a sexy way.
Oh.
I think it's a kill or be killed.
Are you gonna kick her off of you? Are you gonna try and disengage? Do you have any influence left?
I have 1 influence left.
Do you want to die with 1 influence left?
I'm gonna use...
To find another bloody pipe.
Yeah, I was... okay. I'm gonna use an influence point to say that
Deja vu?
when the flashlight broke, that there is a big enough piece of it within reach to still be a weapon. And I'm gonna do the whole like reach for it and like bam.
Okay, yes. You one of the power cells could be tubular, for you enough for you to just give her that one last smack across the face or across the head. Let's spending your influence.
Yeah, so I can't use it to reroll this shit.
No.
I can't help you.
That's cocked.
Yeah, it's cocked.
Oh. I see a 4 from here. Oh. I got 6. So you.
Also,
got, so you do 2, and you hear the metallic rim at the end of the power cell. You just it's stretching. You grab it, and as she is chewing on your arm and tearing it.
Your turn.
So you are now fully at 3 health tracks done with her like trying to eat you live, and you holding like she's eating you while you try to reach for this, and you smack her across the temple, and you hear a crack as she just limply collapses. What do you do next? People are yes, orientation roll or perception.
Orientation.
You need to do me when running away.
Yep.
Check. You get an extra die to save yourself and Annie. 1.
I got a success.
You see the last moments of the person he saw initially going crazy, seeing her biting you. She's going for he is going for the emergency break the thingy, but this is an external emergency exit of the module that was collapsed that they didn't open.
Okay.
He's gonna flood the room immediately. You are literally a couple of meters, maybe 1 meter or 2 tops from the exit of the brig. Remember, you were in the brig?
Yeah.
And you were running out. So when you enter this common area, this area that connects, the woman jumped on you. So you can either try to stop them verbally because they're on the other side, or you can try to go back and seal yourself shot. Your call.
I rolled, and I gotta spend influence to.
You're gonna spend influence to re-roll.
Yeah.
How many influence do you have left?
I have 1 left.
1 left. Very good.
Come on. I have 2.
Nice. You actually get yourself and Annie away, and you managed. You got a bonus is because actually Annie is saying follow the signs, follow the signs, like the emergency or signs or whatever you see flashing arrows pointing in some direction. You go in, and immediately the moment you go in and you turn, the door shuts itself behind you. Close. You did not do anything. It just. What do you do?
So I mean, I still have like a limp.
Yes.
So it's not easy for me to move.
No.
Okay.
You'll have to.
So
roll.
I will shout to the person, just like, she's down. I got her. She's not a danger.
Try to convince. This is a do or die. I think you have an extra die for your memory. Okay. And get more than I get.
10.
I got 9.
Oh, yes.
She hesitates for a second, and then you hear. Annie turns to you. We're going to be okay. We will be okay. You're a good person.
Thank you.
My mommy likes good persons. I miss her.
Miss. I miss you too, sweetie.
And all other compartments immediately flood and implode. And the only 2 people left alive with whatever is left of Nuria are Annie and yourself, sunken over a mile deep, and you just lost your tracking beacon. As the lights go down, you hear Annie say, "I knew Mommy could make a new family together." And that's where we're gonna end it. Thank you very much for this very awfully, disgustingly creepy episode of Nibiru, which had a villain all
That was
along,
awesome.
looking to be good, trying to save. I mean, Annie did. I kept my promise. Annie did try to save them, but then you just damned Michael to hell by making him a cannibal. Not my fault.
With this one,
Full clarity. If that didn't happen, I was gonna go full slasher movie where I am the slasher.
the thing is, I will point out with that, he is all out of points. All out of all points. I still have 2 memory points and an influence point, sorry.
Chad was disgustingly bad to you with the water thing because it was gonna be like the impossible situation of there is no way to escape, and I knew like the person that was doing all the machinations was gonna be Nuria, Annie's mom. But then the chat got to choose one minor hero and a minor villain, and the minor villain was the cannibal Zoe, and the minor hero was Annie. So Annie is the one who saves you because her mommy tells her where to take you. Which is the creepiest thing ever if you consider that she's been looking for a boyfriend for mommy since she met you.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if Seal was with low tracking beacon, it probably won't be long before Billy goes just completely loose with it. Because
Yeah.
he's a
And that's the
Just
thing.
his mind damage slowly takes down.
Experimental drugs, neural networks connected to the thingy, missing her daughter. This is not gonna go well. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Join us next week for episode 30, close of book 3 of Blood on the Thames. Join our Discord. Promote our Patreon. The more patrons you get on board, the more entries you got on the raffle for the most amazing mimic box.
Do we have it?
Description,
Yeah,
pictures, and
Yeah.
It had been taken
It's great,
back
okay.
into its holy
Into its art.
arc. But now, again, the mimic box. Thank you very much
and
for watching.
For all the
Support.
support and all the for all the bits we've already got unlocked with the patron support.
Oh,
yeah.
the stretch goals.
That's the
About
one.
that.
That's
Yes.
one.
Check out our blog post from yesterday.
Yeah.
We wrote about that.
Yeah, we are working on fulfilling those for as soon as possible with you because, well, honestly, we were thinking, it's not gonna. What the hell are you
and
doing?
thank you
We
very much
love
for bringing
you
it up,
so much.
Phil.
Yes.
Thank you.
Our goals. We started with like a $10 a month goal, and then like a 25 and a 50 and a 75 and a 100, and we're like, let's make them sort of $25 apart each, sort of.
Yeah,
that is
we'll
like
slowly-
5 people for each jump, and we're like the first like five neonates per jump, like wishful thinking, hopefully. Having reached like 5 the first night, and then by morning having the 6th one completed, means that now we have a backlog of goals pending to fulfill. But don't worry about it. You will get them. All of them. We're working really hard and saying thank you and making good on our promises. So,
but you just have to give us a bit of time to catch up with you.
Because again, you are insane. We love you so much, and I'm about to start crying again.
Yeah, let's note. So,
honestly,
on this very, very beautiful note, think of puppies and forget about that death in the depths. That was Nibiru. Until next week. See you. Bye.